Since 1962, Abilities First has been supporting the needs of individuals with disabilities throughout the Hudson Valley region.
Hi, welcome to Abilities First. Come on in. This is where the kids come in the morning. They get dropped off by their parents. The buses meet in here, and then we have trains that take the children down to the classroom. So an adult will take them in small groups into their classrooms. There's smart boards in here, so they can do some kind of games in here. There's also a projector so we can watch movies. So we do a lot of movies in here. This is also our space for OT and PT services. So any kind of large muscle group activity, they'll be doing in here as well. So we have 5 classrooms. All of them have 18 students and either 4 or 5 children with IEPs. Here's our nurse's office. We have a full-time nurse on staff with us. The nurse keeps all meds here and is able to administer any kind of medication, any kind of health needs throughout the day. So come on into our first classroom. This is Brown Bear. We have 18 children in this classroom and 5 of them have IEPs. There's one special ed teacher that's here all day. There's a general ed teacher that's here all day, and then also an aide as well. So 3 staff for those 18 children. So they first come in and they unpack their backpack at their cubby, and then they take their lunch sticks and they'll put it in whether they are brought lunch today or they're buying lunch today. All meals at our site are provided through the school district and Abilities First. Circle time happens here. We have smart boards in every room, and that can be used to look at any kind of educational activities, to watch any kind of films, some music and movement type of activities. They can do yoga. A lot of the classrooms will bring up yoga. They do their morning message and their activities for the morning. After that, they move into small group activities at their table and are able to pull out table toys or work on some kind of art project for the day. They also work on graphics practice, which is some of those pre-writing types of skills to help children get involved in learning to do the strokes more appropriately for writing. And then play plan time. So play plans are part of our curriculum. Our curriculum is Tools of the Mind, which is based on a lot of self-regulation, being able to make plans of where their play is going to be and turning their play into something more meaningful. So all of our play plans start with I am going to, and then they choose, depending on the color, coordinates with the colors in the room of different centers. So the play plan will say, I'm going to play with Paw Patrol, and they were going to the blue area, which then coordinates with dramatic play. So that really ties in their learning to the different centers that we have in the classrooms. Our teachers also, our special ed teachers, will identify for children that need a little bit more assistance. So these are an individual schedule, so the child can go through and check off where they are and what they've done. So it's making it a little bit more individualized. Typically, the children that are in these types of integrated classrooms are children that have needs, but their needs don't exceed being in a classroom of 18 students. They're able to regulate themselves, but they just need a little bit extra support to help them manage throughout the day. I think the biggest benefit definitely for children that are in these classrooms to have those typical models, something to strive for, something to help them in not always having to reach for an adult for those types of activities. Maybe they need help unzipping their lunchbox. They might ask their peer next to them to help them rather than go to the teacher or to the aide. I think vice versa. On the other hand, I think really being in an integrated class for a typical student teaches empathy. We've had a student in one of these classrooms who really needed a lot more support, and the kids really rallied around him, helping him up on to playground equipment, or filling in during those times that the teacher didn't always have to be there. This is Waterway. This is another one of our classrooms. There's 18 students in this one as well. 4 children in this classroom have IEPs. Children typically come to program appointed here by their school districts. We serve Dutchess, Ulster, Orange, and Putnam counties. There's busing provided for most counties. Some parents choose to drive. We're talking about 3- and 4-year-olds. So a lot of children, parents aren't at the point where they're ready to have their child attend by bus, but the counties do provide transportation. So for this classroom, it's pretty much the same setup. We do have music therapist that comes in weekly. In the past, we've also had yoga as well as art that come in as specials. Part of the curriculum is turning the centers into different areas. So we're kind of right between transitioning between themes. We're in restaurant week, so the block area this week was turned into McDonald's. So they have their McDonald's Happy Meals over in the quiet book area. They turned it into a Chinese food restaurant. So they're able to utilize, so the Dunkin' Donuts area, they have their drive-through window. They're able to utilize the art supplies and make it into what they may be ordering from the drive-through. So it really kind of makes their play a little bit deeper. Most of the children in this program are 4-year-olds. This is the year before kindergarten. When they come in, their tables are assigned. So there's 4 children that sit at each table. And usually a teacher will sit at each of them, and then one will float between 2. And that's to work on any kind of academic rigor activities. So whether you're working on in small group times, it's always the same children, and they change those tables throughout the year. So they're not always with the same 4 children, but every couple of weeks or every couple of months they change those activities up. When their information is coming over from us from the school districts, it's a really good sense of where the child is and how much they're really needing from a teacher. And based on that, and then during tours, we can really get a sense of what kind of needs the child has, and then able to pair that with a teacher. So looking at the special ed teacher that has that same type of approach. Socialization is a huge piece for preschool. I mean, that's the basis for most of interactions, is learning how to interact with peers, how to share, how to take turns. So that is the main part of the curriculum, that paired with the academic piece and those pre-readiness skills that really parents and educators are looking for prior to kindergarten. We have built a really great team here. We have a social worker that comes in once a week. So any kind of socializing questions they may have, they can always reach out to her. But for the most part, within the classroom, it's really that setting up those play situations that are positive and being able to step in and teaching children how to sit, take turns, follow directions. And that's the basis of this curriculum. The curriculum is really the foundation of it is being able to self-regulate and to know when it's your turn and when it's your peer's turn, and really teaching those skills to be successful, because without self-regulation, we are certainly not able to get all the academic pieces. So it's really the foundation of what this program is built on, is that socialization. The SCIDS classroom stands for self-contained classroom in an integrated setting. And that's having a small class of self-contained children, or a small class of children that have IEPs, in a typical functioning pre-K classroom. There's bathrooms in each of the classrooms for children that are potty trained. If your child's in that process of being potty trained or is not yet potty trained, one of the teaching assistants or the teachers will help them out. In the event that they need to be changed, there's mats that they can change them, or they can bring them up to the nurse's office for changing. Another part of the curriculum is to do story labs. Story labs are reading a book, and then the children share information that they've gathered from the book. So it also to work on the beginning, identifying the beginning, the middle, and the end of a story. So that's all built into this activity. Well, I want to thank you for coming to visit our preschool. If you are interested in programming, you can always reach out to me. If you are interested in signing your child up, the next step would be to contact your school district and let them know that you've chosen us for programming, and then they'll get us any necessary information. And then we can also start mailing out intake packets and all the paperwork that you would need to do to get your child signed up for September. Thank you for visiting Abilities First UPK in Hyde Park.